broader growth trends beyond beauty as well with you next time. Thank you for joining us this morning on CNBC TV 18. Now, Nazara is the next company which we're speaking with. This is with regards to the Silicon Valley Bank collapse fallout. Two of Nazara's subsidiaries hold cash balances at Silicon Valley Bank, like many other companies here in India do, especially on the SaaS side, etc. The exposure for Nazara via these two subsidiaries is about 64 crores. Remember this morning, we got the announcement that the government has stepped in to ensure that all depositors are protected, not just at that $250,000 limit threshold, but the full thing. Nitish Mittersain is Joint Managing Director at the company. He's joining us right now to take some questions. Nitish, good morning. Good to have you with us here. Thanks very much. What's the status at your end, Nitish, if you can tell us, with the 64 crore exposure? Have you heard anything from the bank? Just tell us the latest.
So as you know, we made a exchange update yesterday, disclosing our exposure of 64 crores through two of our subsidiaries, Paperboat and Kiddopia Inc and Mediawrkz. So I think a couple of aspects to mention from a Nazara perspective. One is both these subsidiaries operate with businesses in the US, which is why they had accounts with SVB. But at the same time, both companies for us are very profitable businesses generating positive cash flows, have enough and sufficient working capital besides these funds, which were really free cash parked over there. So none of the businesses are impacted, none of the operations are impacted at all for us, and business continues as usual. We obviously are very hopeful that we want to recover these funds at the earliest. And the overnight statement by Senator Yellen saying that the government will kind of, ensure that all depositors are covered, not only the amounts covered by $250,000, but beyond that as well, gives us a lot more hope. But it's a fluid situation, so we will continue to monitor it over the next few days before we go back with an update to the market officially.
Will you have to take any kind of haircut, you think?
Originally, our understanding over the weekend was that there will be some sort of haircut, but the statement that has come in overnight, makes us a lot more confident that we could probably recover 100%, of the deposits. But again, like I said, this is a very developing story. We don't understand it so well ourselves, so I don't want to make any commitment of getting off this back at this stage. Till we are very clear.
So you're saying that, so you're saying that you may recover 100%, but you're not sure just yet. Just want to understand, what was the reason for which, a lot of companies like yours, a lot of startups, perhaps tech startups, preferred SVB as a lender? Was there any advantages that they were offering? Just trying to understand why it's so heavily skewed in that favor, in that sector.
I think they offer, especially for international companies like ourselves and our subsidiaries, much faster onboarding and on-ramping, for accounts. And given that they have been a top 20 US bank, there's a lot of confidence. There has been a lot of confidence in the past that it's a strong bank where, we can deposit. So I think easy on-ramping, easy account opening, and the fact that a lot of the tech were using them for a really long time, it's been around for 40 years, I think gave us the confidence to park money over there. This, of course, took us by a lot of surprise. And going forward, we will also ensure what else we can do to ensure that, we don't get into such situations again.
Nitish, just a couple of questions. First of all, on these two subsidiaries, typically, what are their working capital requirements like? As you said, it's a developing story. We understand that I think Monday onwards, depositors will have access to at least some of their funds. Your total exposure is around 64 crores. Are these two companies in immediate day-to-day need of funds?
No. So if I were to drill it down a bit more, right, Kiddopia Inc is a subsidiary of Paperboat Apps, which is our subsidiary of Nazara Technologies. And they have more than sufficient funds to meet the working capital. They also largely operate in a positive working capital cycle. So I think there is no issue whatsoever. And same goes for Mediawrkz. That's a smaller exposure of $1.3 billion, approximately, 10 crore rupees, and very easily manageable by the subsidiaries themselves. So the point is, even Nazara does not need to step in to support these subsidiaries at this point of time.
Okay, that's an important clarification, that Nazara doesn't have to provide an immediate backstop. The other is, this is exposure at SVB. Nazara and all of its subsidiaries put together, is there exposure to any other US bank?
No, there is not. I mean, we do have WildWorks as a subsidiary as well, which has some exposure to very limited exposure. I mean, we're talking about $1 million or so, 8-10 crore rupees between two banks, but they're established banks like Wells Fargo. So there's no concern seen over there.
Okay. What about the business for two of these subsidiaries, Kiddopia and MediaWrkz? Any kind of challenges that you're facing right now? Any job cuts that will take place at either of these subsidiaries?
No, actually, both of them are in very good shape. Both are growing very well. As we've discussed earlier as well, our Kiddopia business is starting to, pick up good steam. So, we're actually seeing very positive momentum. And same goes for the MediaWrkz, DataWorks, AgTech business. We continue to see good potential. So, the business is performing very well in both these companies.
Okay. So you're saying no job cuts, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
If at all, there will be additional hiring that we will be doing.
Okay. Would you by any chance know what is the exposure that the entire Indian startup community has to SVB, just to understand some ballpark numbers?
No, I haven't been able to get a grip on it because there's a lot of chatter around the place. But unlike us, we have to publicly disclose our exposure. There's more hearsay. But my understanding is that there's a lot of companies in the Indian tech startup space who are impacted at different levels and different scales. Just that this overnight may give everyone a lot more confidence about the future.
All right, Nitish, absolutely. And I think, it's a clear statement that all depositors will be, all deposits will be made whole, which I think is what is giving you and others a confidence. Thanks very much. And you're right, last time we spoke, which was early March, you did say that both esports and Kiddopia are expected to do very well in FY24. So you're sticking with that. No real sort of fallout. Hopeful you recover the money. So that's a cautiously optimistic way of looking at things, and perhaps rightfully so. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll take a very quick break here with the news at the